Hello everyone, Jorge Huertas once again with all of you. Today I'm gonna show you what is and how to use the Gestalt laws in psychology and design. Well, this is a psychology and design concept. It got the following characteristic. The Gestalt laws or Gestalt laws are developed by psychologists of the German Gestalt movement, is based on the premise that the whole is superior to the sum of its parts. They are based on the natural inclination of the human being to understand objects and structures as a whole rather than their own parts. It got different laws. The law of contrast, that a shape is better perceived the greater than the contrast between the background and the figure. Law of hierarchy, a shape is better perceived in more main or less components. It is basically there are 8 main laws, and they are very important for all the designers because we need to understand how can we make a composition. It's also very important because this is not new at all. This is from the mid-20s in Germany, and it's very interesting because at the beginning it was used by the psychologists to understand what's going on and know how people perceive things. However, the designers noticed that they could use this to make better compositions and better designs. So yeah, the Gestalt laws are very important. Each designers need to know and need to understand how this works. Before we start explaining this, please subscribe to our channel. It really helps us a lot. Give us a like, turn on the bell, make a comment. And if you want to contribute to our project, please help us because that really is important for us. So the first law that we're going to see is the law of closure. Closure is that we tend to complete the incomplete figure. If you see on the screen, you can see the letter G, but this letter G is not just one thing. However, what Gestalt told us is that we see everything as is just one thing. However, here we can see like 6 different parts of the same object. That is very important when you are diagramming, when you are creating, because you can use that closure to make a more vivid development. Proximity, that's also very important because proximity means that the elements that are closer are usually perceived as a group. What does that mean? It means that we got here the letter E, and they are made of small squares. However, they are not touching each other, but because they are close, our eye and our brain understand that this is just one object, and that is why we can perceive the letter E. Then we got the law of continuity, and there is a tendency to group elements that they follow a pattern of continuity. If you see here, you see the letter S. However, there is a line that is crossing the letter S, so we can see like a different volume. And actually, if you see, there's like different parts. So the continuity make us think that this line is crossing under the main part of the letter S, even though that it is not. But our brain understand that. For example, for tunnels and composition, that is extremely, extremely important. Then we got the law of likeness, which is very, very important because we perceive group the elements that they are equal, like if they are together. But this is something very interesting because as you can see on the screen, we got the letter T and all the circles are the same size. However, we see the letter T because we change the color, and the perception is that the T is just on the top part and in the middle. But in the side, because we change the color, it looks different. So that why is likeness. Then we got a figure and background. and is based on the fact that the brain does not perceive an object as a figure or background at once. So here we got the letter A, and it's interesting because we think that this is just on one dimension. However, and it is in one dimension, but the background make us think that this is 3D for the different ways that the line are component. So that's very interesting to understand that. We got common address, which is there is a tendency to group elements that follow a pattern of continuity. So that's very, very interesting because here we got the letter L. And if you see, they are on the same address, but we are changing the color of each one of them. So we can see that they are like continuing the letter L and keep going. Then we got symmetry, which is very, very important because symmetry means that they are perceived as equal the symmetrical image. However, even though that we got the letter T, they are not the same, but they look like. So our brain, because it watched very quick, they say, oh, they are the same. Yes, but no. So symmetry is very important because we are attracted to different elements that look similar. For example, the composition, and the people that most of the time look more attractive is because they are more symmetrical, or their face, their body, and for our brain that is very attractive. Pregnancy is the final law, and it's very interesting because pregnancy or hierarchy allow us to understand different figures that maybe they are not there. As you can see, we really got 4 circles, and we took one part of the circle, and it looks like there is a triangle on the middle. However, that is not how it is. We can see that there's a Pac-Man, basically, and our brain make the association of that. So shape are very perceived simple and symmetrical in shape that are more understandable and allow us to memorize that. So that is why our brain remember a lot of stuff. So as you can see, the appreciate use of laws of Gestalt are essential for any process of diagram. Why do I say that? Because when you start designing and people don't know this, they are gonna do everything but intuition. If you know this, put this together in your composition. Maybe you don't use all the laws, but you can use some of them, and it will make your development better. Visual culture is very important to use and to understand these laws. So that is very important. Thank you so much. Please subscribe to our channel, Design Thinking 24/7. Follow us on social media. Remember that every Monday we have a new video in Spanish, and every Thursday we have a new video in English. Our Udemy courses are already available in the description of this video. You can find the link. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.